they're more or less everybody's got that the 2020 election. Of course, they got Trump in court down here in Fulton County, which is Atlanta. Um, but they've got other people. They got a judge up in Northwest Georgia who's actually a liberal. I believe he was an Obama appointee. Uh, uh, Somebody was suing, for the election fraud crap, and the state went up to this judge, and they said, "Hey, you got to block this." And the judge says, "No, I'm gonna let the lawsuit go through." So there's all this evidence coming out now that people did cheat. They had one woman who was running one of the election centers, and she came right out and sent a phone call. If see anything with a like a Trump vote on it or something like this, and they were kind of throwing stuff off to the side for Trump, and they were pushing all these bullshit ballots through. They've found tens of thousands of ballots here that were no good.
For Biden.
Yeah, they all went for Biden.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that for people. Yes.
Yep.
And the Biden, I'm gonna tell you straight up, but because I know you're stateside. America needs to, well, on a globalist level, America needs to catch up to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. And the only way America could do that is if they disarm the citizens, get a Biden selection in there, get an incompetent idiot like Biden in there, to basically has no idea if he's tricking or treating, and then flood your southern border in with illegal migrants to catch up to where Canada and other Commonwealth countries are. If Trump did win that election, let's say he won that election, it'd be another 4 more years of trying to rebuild and make America great again, while the rest of Canada is going into civil war and Australia is going into civil war and knife stabbings skyrocketing, can't afford to buy food, home invasions going up, and if America, you know what I'm saying? So this is just my theory that America needs to catch up to the rest of the failing West. So this is why the Biden selection was mandatory. That's why you're seeing Amerifornia, which I predicted, and which I predicted the Wagons East phenomena happening from California, Oregon, and Washington State. And now you're starting to see it. It's very prevalent. Go ahead, Black Powder Bill.
They got I think there's big money to be made. I told my wife, I said, over here at one of the car dealers, there's a great big taco truck for sale. And we were driving by one day, and I said, "You know what? I had to buy the taco truck and drive down to Arizona or Texas." She said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I could make big money feeding people. Go down there for 6 months, make a handful of money, leave, maybe get a bus, rent a bus, drive some people up here, to Atlanta, drop them off, turn the lease bus in, make some big money. There's big money to be made in, shuffling all these illegals around. I just have to learn to speak like 25 different languages, though."
See, back in the day, it was Spanish, right? So I'd go down with you, and I'd just talk to people for full time, right? And then you just make the tacos, and I just talk to the people, right?
I thought I had a delivery driver from FedEx, young black guy, and he was talking about he moved from a rural area to Athens area when he was a young middle school. And he goes, "Man," "it's way different up here." I says, "Yeah, Athens is weird, real weird." And he goes, "No, man." He goes, "I was just downtown making deliveries." He goes, "I saw like 80 guys all standing in front of a building." He goes, "They were all Africans." I go, "How do you know they were all Africans?" Because I couldn't understand their language, and they were black. And I'm going, "Well, okay, could have been." Like, yeah, 80. He says at least 80. He couldn't believe the size of the...
Yeah, again, when the third world fails, the first world burns, Black Powder Bill.
Oh, yeah, we ain't even first world anymore. I think we're like second, fringing on third as soon as the shit hits the fan.
So, election predictions is I've been balling for the last, I don't know, long little while now. Actually, the last time you were on the show, last I think summer, I was telling you, and we were in this little bit of a debate that I think they're going to find and do whatever they can to suspend the 2024 election. Now, is it coming? Is this vision that I've had may come? Is this something that may happen, or we're going to go full force into this 2024 election, and they're going to fix it, and it's not going to be rigged? Like, what do you see happening with this?
It isn't going to be fixed. What I'm thinking is, and from the listening I've been doing and some of the reading, I think that if Twitter, the left has gone completely crazy since Musk bought Twitter. And I'm thinking they've got all these email files, millions of them. I mean, if they can get like 80 million emails, out of Alex Jones's servers, how many does Twitter have? Everybody's, and all these government people, they got their government email, they got their personal email, and then they got their secret Hillary emails, right?
Mm.
How many of those government agents, the Twitter people, we'll just say the cabal, and the rest of the dirtbags, Department of Justice, how many of them were using the Twitter platform to email each other back and forth for all the little leftist commie plans? If Musk releases that stuff, there'll be a total freaking meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see people. We got like what 25 or 30 congressmen and senators. They aren't running for office again. Some of them have aged out, but I think the reason a lot of these politicians aren't going to run again because they want to retire before they're fired.
Right. A lot of these politicians are in it for their golden button or retirement button or whatever, or full pension. They couldn't care less about the person on the ground paying the taxes, the person that's funding their or paying their payroll. They couldn't care less. And do you see us going back to 2019 worldwide protests this summer?
Yep, I do. In fact, I'm surprised. Well, they are happening now. They got all the Palestinian protests. It's like somebody turns a switch. Okay, today we're going to protest against Israel and Palestine. We're going to protest this. What these people need to be protesting is why the hell is the United States in 50 different countries fighting all these damn wars for everybody else? When the European Union and all that bullshit was first set up, one of their things were they're going to have an army of 100,000 strong from all over Europe, and they're going to take care of all their own problems. Why the hell are we in all these other countries? And then they come out and they said, oh, we're sending, hundreds of billions of dollars over to the Ukraine. And somebody says, well, we're not giving them money. We're just sending them, bombs and bullets and shit. But that's good for us because our people here can work overtime now, making more. And I'm thinking, that's fucking crazy. I'm going, we can make the shit and sell it to somebody else anyway. And, make it and sell it to them anyway. And I'm like, and then we're paying people salaries, government salaries in the Ukraine. Is that true? I'm like, how many other countries? Shit, we're still sending Iran money and Afghanistan money.
Yep. For gender research.
True. Yeah.
But anyways, Black Powder Bill, on a more serious note, do you see, honestly, like, now let's, I know you're in the States and I know you don't want to hear or go into so much negativity in one night, but do you see some sort of civil unrest, maybe a civil war, maybe a divide?
We already have a divide. It's just a lot of people are laying low. I went up to the gun shop Friday afternoon just to pick up some of my receipts. They sell stuff for me, and I stop up to bullshit. And they actually had about 12 people in there, which is odd because usually on a Friday afternoon you don't see that many people, but maybe it was one of them days. But I think things are going to start to really roll again. Money's tight. There's a lot of people selling a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of young people looking for work. I'll say guys in their 20s and stuff. But, they've had 5 or 6 jobs, but they can't find anything they really like that's a niche for them. And, me, some of the older guys, we tell these guys, look, just go find a job where you can make some damn money right now, and then look for something else. Don't just stop what you're doing, don't just stop what you're doing, and then sit down and try to figure something out. I go, there's a lot of jobs out there. was talking to a guy today. He works for the Department of Georgia roads, Georgia Dot, right? He's talking to a guy he's known for a long time that does asphalt, has an asphalt company. And he asked him, he goes, Chris, did you retire yet? I need to hire somebody. And Chris goes, I ain't walking behind a freaking asphalt spreader. He goes, no, I need a foreman. My foreman died. He had a heart attack. He died. He goes, I don't have anybody that can calculate asphalt.
Whoa.
How much asphalt you need to be. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, all the guys on the one crew, none of them ever wanted to learn that. He goes, and then everybody time I try, he goes, well, can't you hire somebody? He goes, shit. He goes, every time I go to hire somebody, he goes, nobody can pass a drug test. And I told him, I just talked to a guy from Kansas who bought a musket off me. He said the town he lives in, average income is 30 grand a year. He took a job in the oil fields. He goes, we were talking about New York. He goes, in fact, I'm flying to Elmira, New York this weekend so I can get down to Pennsylvania to work in the oil fields. He goes, I'll be down there a couple of weeks. When we were talking about jobs, he goes, nobody in Pennsylvania wants to work. People out by me, he goes, to work, but they really don't want to go anywhere. The younger people, guys his age, he goes, my first year in the oil fields, he goes, per diem and everything, I made $180,000.
That's in stateside, in some of the southern states, $180,000 could buy you a whole life.
Oh yeah. And he goes,
I mean, a house, a car, a little bit of land, everything.
Yeah. Where he lives in Canada, where he lives in Kansas, the average income's 30 grand a year.
Yeah.
They're all farmers and stuff, you know. He goes, my wife and I just bought a farm. He goes, so when you ship the gun, it'll be to a different address. I go, fine, just make sure somebody's there to pick it up, you know. And he says, yeah, he goes, but nobody wants to work. He goes, when we try to hire somebody, they can't pass a freaking drug test. But it's the same thing my cousin told me in West Virginia. She says they took 150 applications, sent 150 people, you know, for their physicals and blood tests, and like I think she said it was like 19 passed the drug test.
Whoa! So everyone's on drugs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying everybody, but 85% of the population is on drugs. I know that the United States of America is the number one consuming drug nation in the world. Big pharma and hardcore drugs. Drugs in general.
They busted a guy here a week or so ago. It was in our little local county newspaper. The Athens Clarke County Police busted him over here in the county I live in. This is where he lives. He had 5 fucking pounds of fentanyl.
Holy, that could wipe out a whole state.
Yeah, they said it was like enough to kill like 170,000 people or something like that.
Wow.
And it's always 2 or 3 people they're finding that have had overdoses in their houses, you know, and they refuse medical treatment and they refuse transport to the hospital. I had one EMT here tell me last fall that they had to hit one guy with 3 Narcan doses to get him to come back. And
I heard 4 today from someone, a girl they found overdosed by a dumpster in my area, took 4 Narcan, or 5 actually. I think it was 5 Narcan doses to get her back.
And this guy refused to go to the hospital. What? Probably because if he took him to the hospital, he couldn't get high, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, it's the drug thing is bad. And now you got all these illegals coming in. I'm sure some of them are here. They want to do good and work, but what the hell are the other ones going to do? You know, they got up in New York City, it got cold. They get no place to live. They're not getting what they want. So some of them were getting airplane tickets to go back home, fly back home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least it's warmer and you could see now that it's time we fix our country for the next generation so we don't become like New York. You know what I mean? They could go back and say, I'm going back to Honduras. I'm going back to Brazil. I'm going back wherever I'm from. But I'm going to make it better than New York. And that's my mission. You know?
That's what I don't understand. I go, if you get the money to travel, there was a little 5-6 minute interview on Twitter today by one of the guys down there, and they had the guy's face blurred out, but he was an Iranian, and he was talking, you know, about Islam, this and that, and he goes, no. He goes, no. He goes, they might come here, they might work, they might greet you, they might talk. He goes, but if their prophet or whatever, their religious leader tells them, you got to put on a vest and go blow this shit up, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. They're going to
Shock
do
troops.
it.
Shock troops.
He goes, I'm not going to do it. He goes, I understand what's going on. He goes, this is bad. He said, Islam is the biggest virus there is. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've heard people talk. Like, I worked with a lot of guys that were, first generation, just say off the boat, in the places I've worked at. And they would just look at me and say, one guy was from Poland. He came over here in 72. He goes, Billy, he goes, I can't believe this country's like this now, because I just can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. It's getting like that. And again, the Biden selection was mandatory to speed up America's process into decay. And that's what the Biden selection was. And the day that Biden got selected into office, I made my video, Biden selection, bye-bye Taiwan, more presence on the Ukraine-Russia border, wagons east, Amerifornia is hitting. And I said something that real estate will double in price in rural parts of America, and food will be out of reach by the end of Biden's selection administration, or whatever you want to call it. And we also predicted there's going to be no primaries for the there was going to be no primaries for the Democrats. There's going to be no Democratic primaries. And they just want Biden, even though nobody wants Biden, but they just want Biden so they could fast forward this agenda of destruction of America.
Oh yeah, it's bad. The thing about the real estate doubling, my house was assessed at $187,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the assessment went up to $283,000.
Mm-hmm. That's still a pipe dream for 99% of Canadians. You can't even buy a one-bedroom condo for that.
Oh yeah, well you get your government owns all the friggin' land. It's like national forest here. You ain't gonna build shit on it anymore. We can thank Bill Clinton for that. You need to double.
Is it just me, or that guy's a piece of crap?
Clinton, oh man, that guy.
He's got a nose like a vacuum.
Oh God, I can't believe he's still alive. I saw a picture of him the other day. He was white. He looked like a friggin' zombie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn. I don't know what the hell they're pumping into Hillary. But I'm like, holy shit. Probably some of them babies from Epstein's Island or something.
Who knows, man? All right, any final words, Black Powder Bill? I want you to keep your eyes in, because you're obviously in the gun business, guys. You can find Black Powder Bill at blackpowderbill.com. And he's our gun enthusiast and knows his guns here on Mike of the Night. And can you just keep your eyes and ears open on gun grabs, gun confiscations, gun laws, gun whatever treaties they're trying to do for us, if you can, so you can keep us updated here on Mike of the Night.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Just to let people know, my .com is my blog. I usually do picture dumps there and stuff like that. And I post some stuff on Facebook, but they didn't like something I posted here the other day. Actually, it was 3 or 4 things I posted. So I can't comment in groups for like 5 or 6 days or some shit. And I'm on their death watch till like May. And but I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, I want to thank you personally for actually retweeting you and one other. I think you and one other person are the only person that retweet anything I post. It's just you. And I try to
when I see stuff, I try to retweet everybody's stuff just so it goes out again.
Well, I appreciate that, because I don't get anybody retweeting my stuff. It's just you, and that's how I know you and remember you and respect you. Anyways, all right, Black Powder Bill, we'll let you go back and do your thing. I know everyone at the house there is asleep. I appreciate you taking the time and updating us, and we'll get you back on soon enough. Okay, brother?
All right, Mikey, you take care, man, and stay warm up there.
God bless you.
Way north. All right, bye, bud.